Hi, I'm Kacey Cardin. I'm a professional certified coach who works with people and organizations who want to bring more authenticity, connection, and integration of their humanity and higher purpose to their leadership. The leaders, coaches, and teams I work with are committed to creating legacy and positive impact. And even during normal times, it can be challenging to balance their work and home commitments or their personal and professional ways of relating to themselves and other people. Add a global crisis into the mix, and almost all of us are questioning and reevaluating our leadership, our future plans and goals, and how we want to address the current breakdowns in our own lives and the world's economy, healthcare, and greater good. These are big conversations, and I acknowledge you for showing up here today as a leader who cares deeply about how you can help the world navigate this challenging time. As confronting as it is, this is actually a perfect time to be digging into energetic intelligence and transformational leadership practices. Our entire world is undergoing a collective transformation as we speak. Having undergone my own, as well as leading hundreds of others through complex change and transformation, I can tell you that it's usually an uncertain, uncomfortable, and deeply unsettling process. So, what is energetic intelligence, and what does it have to do with all of this? You're likely familiar with and highly trained in IQ and EQ, your cognitive and emotional intelligence, respectively. Energetic intelligence, or NQ, contains both of those, as well as how your physical, mental, and spiritual or energetic self comprise a more all-encompassing and sometimes less quantifiable intelligence. We are all made of energy. Regardless of IQ or EQ, your energy speaks before you do, and it doesn't lie. Have you ever met someone and instantly felt a connection or synergy before they even say a word? Or conversely, met someone new and before the conversation even starts, without any rational reason, you don't like them. You just have a feeling about them, and it's not good. I've been in dozens of rooms where strangers were asked to pair off according to who they were most or least drawn to, without any information or introductions to one another. Quite often, people are attracted to those people who display qualities that they themselves want more of. And people are repelled by those who display characteristics that they themselves possess in spades, but either wish they didn't or don't realize they do because it's a major blind spot. Psychology has plenty to say about this phenomenon, and so does energetic intelligence. Your energy speaks before you do. It's an all-encompassing intelligence, and again, it does not lie. As a leader, it's crucial that you're fully aware of what your energy is saying and how it's impacting those around you. IQ and EQ can help, but they're also sometimes the exact strengths that get us stuck in energetic and behavioral patterns that don't serve us in getting to our next level of leadership or impact. Today, we'll cover NQ's 7 wheels of leadership, as well as a few tools and practices that will train you to be aware of what your energy is saying, how it's impacting others, and how to master it in a way that will help you thrive during even the most uncertain and challenging times. I've been honing the concept of NQ for years, and I've found that it aligns beautifully with chakra theory, which I've also studied and practiced for over 21 years. Chakra theory is rooted in ancient wisdom that says we have chakras, or energetic wheels, spinning throughout our system. Chakra theory says these wheels keep our chi, or life force, moving through us, and their locations correspond with various organs, hormones, nerves, impacting our emotions, bodily functions, and states of being. Similar to the chakra system, shown here with the English translation for the 7 major chakras, I've utilized hundreds of client case studies to pinpoint the 7 major wheels of energy that are aligned in the leaders who display and report the highest levels of confidence, productivity, profitability, well-being, and overall fulfillment and joy in their careers and personal lives. When our energy is fully aligned, as shown here, we're in such a naturally empowered state of being that we may not even notice. So sometimes the best approach to energetic intelligence as a tool is to distinguish what it looks and feels like when our energy is stuck. Here are the 7 biggest blocks to leadership. Take a look for yourself at which of these manifest most often for you on a normal basis, as well as which of these might be triggered by the current world crisis. The first, as you see here, is insecurity. This can manifest as thoughts and feelings of insecurity or inadequacy, or an unstable foundation in the form of financial problems, trouble at home, or anything else that prohibits one's basic survival needs, food, shelter, clothing, which for many leaders may not be a typical concern, but in the current climate, finances seem more threatened than usual. So I suspect many of us have a lot of extra energy brewing in this area, perhaps sucking some energy out of the other wheels. As far as NQ is concerned, imbalances in this area can show up in leaders who overcompensate for insecurity by relying too much on some of the other wheels. For instance, a micromanaging, controlling, or domineering boss whose team feels dismissed or disconnected from their leader. That power dynamic might help an insecure boss feel a sense of control, but more often than not, the long-term results are poor morale, lack of loyalty, and quick turnover in employees, and sometimes really negative PR from major brands. An imbalanced or blocked first wheel says, I'm scared and I'm not trustworthy. There are some deceptively simple tools to get this area of your life and energy aligned. One is financial clarity. Always know what's so with your dough. If you're an entrepreneur or freelancer with fluctuating income, this is even more important for you. I actually have my freelance clients empower a daily budget spreadsheet and check-in. You might think, and sometimes they think, that blissful ignorance about your bottom line can stave off anxiety in the short term, but it's ultimately a huge power leak. Another tool, and this goes for all of us on a daily basis, especially right now, is physical grounding. The best ways to do this are to get some nature time, go for a walk on your lunch break, and yes, you better believe that taking a real lunch break is a leadership practice, or simply putting your bare feet on the ground. For those of you who love a little woo-woo with your to-do, like I do, there's a great book called Earthing that explains why this is so beneficial and crucial to your overall sense of well-being. Now, what about when you're truly stuck inside and can't get out in nature, as many of you may be right now? I like to practice what I call 4 on the floor in my office. Stand up tall. You can actually do it right now. I can do it. I heard somebody use the term Donald ducking the other day, where what you have on the bottom for me right now, which is denim cutoffs, doesn't match what you have on the top. So everybody stand up, close your eyes, and visualize all 4 corners of both feet connecting with the ground, growing roots right down into the earth. Breathe in for 4 counts, allowing yourself to trust the nourishment of your roots in the earth. Hold for 4, knowing that everything you need is exactly what you already have. Exhale for 4. Now you repeat that breath cycle 4 times before you sit down and get back to work. If you reach out to me, I'll send you a very quick guided 4 on the floor meditation that you can use anywhere, anytime you need to get grounded quickly and powerfully. Lastly, and perhaps most important, your root and foundation is a reminder that who you are is how you lead. Do you relate to yourself as your fear or as the possibility-based essence of who you truly are? Most of us like to think we show up as our essence, but I'm willing to bet that if we followed you around for a day, we'd likely see 1 or 2 of these fear-based ways of being show up at some point. Take a moment here and choose 3 words from the right column, or make up some of your own, that have you tap into an energetic state that gets you some altitude over any of those fear-based options. Choose your 3, then commit to bringing that energy to every moment and every challenge you're faced with this week. Notice what shifts. This is the foundation for all of the other wheels. We could spend an entire hour on this alone, but for now, let's move to wheel number 2. This is your creativity and pleasure center. When this energy is blocked or ignored, you may experience anything from writer's block to sexual dysfunction to major mood swings. As a leader, this is your source of innovation, creation, and enjoyment. Now, I might be walking a thin line with what I'm about to say, but each of my most successful clients agrees with me that a leader who's happy in the bedroom is more impactful in the boardroom, and vice versa. Clearly, this is most likely not a topic that you'll be talking about at work, but it's one of the wheels that is most prevalent in conversations about work-life balance, and it feeds directly into the next wheel, which is the center of your self-confidence. Aside from empowering a healthy, essence-based sex life, the most powerful tool for your second wheel is creative expression for the fun of it. Singing, dancing, painting, whatever you find enjoyable that is not attached to your business. So if you're a professional singer, spend some time drawing. Let yourself play. The last tool for this wheel is actually adult recess. We've already addressed that an actual lunch break is a leadership practice. Well, so is vacation time. I strongly encourage my clients to take a quarterly break or vacation and to take 1 to 3 full days off every single week. For some of you, this might be a high gradient. Some of you are hyper-functioning creators who just don't stop. That takes us beautifully into the third wheel, which is your center of confidence and aligned action. I specify aligned action because there are so many of us these days who go, 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 do. Sometimes it's impactful action steps, but sometimes it's just being busy. American workplace culture in particular has us wear our stress and overwhelm as if it's a badge of honor. That's what we see when this wheel is hyperactive. When your third wheel is underactive or blocked, you might get a leader who has big dreams with nothing to show for it. All talk, no action. Or what I see most often, leaders who are constantly planning to plan. That's actually a mix of third wheel and sixth wheel blockages, and it shows up in more meetings than I think any of us want to admit. Next time you find yourself in one of them, a quick mental run through of what action would be next if all 7 wheels were turning might just save the day. There's also a counterintuitive but incredibly productive tool for your third wheel that is simply slowing down to speed up. Similar to taking more vacations or breaks, this tool requires you to focus on one task at a time and choose no more than 3 major tasks or results that you'll handle in a single day. Some of you may even need to give yourself 1 item per day if you really need a jolt to the system. But how do you choose? Perhaps the fourth wheel holds the answer to that. The fourth chakra is the heart. Similarly, your fourth wheel is the bridge between your higher purpose, your imperfect humanity, and the humanity of those around you. It's your sense of connection and compassion. Breathe into that right now. Allow yourself to drop down out of your brilliant brain and into your magnificent heart. Now imagine what would be possible if you created tomorrow's to-do list from the energetic space of connection and contribution. Aligned action from a place of purpose instead of proving or performing. Performative leadership or constantly needing to prove something to someone is one of the giveaways that a leader isn't acting in the energetic space of their authentic purpose. Speaking of authenticity, let's talk about our fifth wheel of leadership, authentic communication, which is not only your speaking, but also your listening. If you've done work around your own unconscious biases, you already have a head start on noticing what automatic filters you speak and listen for. If you haven't done the work to distinguish your own unconscious bias, getting some support or coaching around that is one of the best practices you can take on for your fifth wheel. You'll recall that your energy speaks before you do, while your energy also speaks louder than your words. When what you're saying and who you're being about it don't align, your leadership lands as inauthentic, out of touch, performative, ineffective. To create maximum impact as a leader, you must be an authentic communicator. One of my favorite tools for this is owning your story so it doesn't own you. Our brains are full of noise. Much of it is like white noise or radio static. We don't even notice how many stories we're making up throughout the day. Science tells us that simply writing it down allows your brain to let it go. Julia Cameron's morning pages exercise is a great example of this, but I have my clients and I myself take a few minutes before any important meeting, speech, or even an email to write down any thoughts, judgments, fears, outcomes we're particularly attached to, or any other extra energy in our space. Just write it all down. Then notice how much of it is stuff you completely made up about yourself, other people, or how the world works. Now, notice what shifts if you let all of that go. Consciously choose the energetic state that release allows you to inhabit. Then communicate from that being. With practice and consistency, this tool can be a new automatic, and it can go a long way in building trust with those you lead. What about trust within yourself? That's your sixth wheel. In chakra theory, this is your third eye. As leaders, this is where we pause and listen to our intuition and inner wisdom. Too often, leaders get pulled in all directions. I say, trust your intuition over their reputation. That third wheel practice of slowing down to speed up creates a perfect clearing for you to pause to move forward. If you don't already have a meditation practice, I can't stress enough the value of giving yourself quiet, solo time to meditate on tough decisions or challenges, as well as practicing gratitude, which nourishes all of the wheels. Allow your intuition to guide the speaking and listening of your fifth wheel and to inform any I am statements that come from your first wheel. The seventh and final wheel is your vision, mission, and higher purpose. For some leaders, this is connected to spirituality or the divine. For others, this is serving a community. Whatever motivates you that's bigger than just you. And also, whatever highest noble commitment is bigger than your fear. When your highest, most noble commitments are driving your actions, communication, and creation as a leader, you'll find that life starts to align almost as if by magic. When you lose sight of your what for, that means this wheel has stopped spinning and you need to bring your attention back to your big why. For some people, the tool here is prayer. And for some, it's writing, reading, and rereading your personal or your company's mission statement and vision for the future. Bringing this back to our current time of uncertainty, it can feel difficult or even irreverent to talk about our dreams for the future when the present moment seems so precarious. Trust that continuing to keep your eye, heart, and actions aligned with your powerfully declared future are what will carry us right into our next collective breakthrough. This, your vision, your mission, your willingness to keep moving forward with an optimistic future focus is what makes your leadership so needed right now. I'll leave you with a quick 7 wheels check-in. I use the colors of the rainbow as I learned them in childhood to remind me of how each wheel pertains to my leadership. I'm including this and also a quick copy of some self-study tools that I've found really fun and inspiring for myself and my clients. Now, if you want to dive deeper into any of these, or you're a coach who's interested in using NQ tools and distinctions with your clients, please reach out. I'd love to hear from you, and I have plenty of additional tools, assessments, and training. Lastly, a huge thank you to Marie and the team at Incontrera Consulting for creating this amazing virtual summit. Here's my information. My team and I are working to get a free 7 wheels assessment up on the website as we speak. If it's not up when you visit, please sign up for our mailing list or contact me through the form on the site, and I'll be sure you get your complimentary assessment. And I'm also offering complimentary 30-minute consults for you and your team as a thank you for attending this week's summit. Thanks so much for being here. Take care of yourselves and each other.